Alright, so today I'm going to do a test drive of a new digital art program called Mischief. And I don't know shit about it except from what I've got on the website, which tells me that you can save out to any resolution you want. You can zoom in as far as close as you want to an object or zoom out. You won't lose resolution, so it combines the best of vector work and raster work into one package, which sounds pretty awesome and pretty cool. So I've been wanting to give it a shot, and I finally have time to see what's going on here. This is the first time I've opened it, so you're gonna follow along with me as I fuck around and see what's going on. There may be periods of dead air. I apologize in advance, but I'm still trying to figure out what's going on here. So it looks like your basic drawing program setup. You've got all your tools on the right. You got your color wheel. That reminds me a lot of Painter's color wheel. This looks like our layer palette here. You know, bare bones, no fuss, no muss, pretty straightforward. The width of our pen, I guess this is the standard marker. So I'll just get started with some kind of sketch and probably a monster, because I can do those really easily at a moment's notice. Already off the bat, I like the line quality that I'm getting out of this. It's very comparable to so I'm using a bamboo Wacom tablet, and the line quality is akin to what you might get out of a manga studio, which I prefer to use rather than Photoshop for line work. They've probably improved this in more modern versions of Photoshop, but the version I've got, CS3, sometimes when you're drawing with just the regular pen tool, the line art is a little jaggy unless you zoom in and work really close. It seems like right off the bat, if I work at regular zoomed out position, the lines seem to be pretty smooth, almost what I would expect from like a vectorized tool. So let's see what we got here. Oh, and I apologize again for dead air. I'm just trying to work out stuff as I go along. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So far so good. Let's see what we can do about color. Alright, so let's pretend I want to make this my line art layer. What have we got here? Do we have different color modes here? How do I make a new layer? Add the plus sign. Excellent. I can swap that and move that down. Here's a good question. If I paint underneath, are the lines transparent above? So let's grab a Conti crayon, and then let's try to. Okay, so we've got our saturation, black and white here, and then this slides over to the colors that we want. So let's start with a neutral brownish thing. Alright, so this tool doesn't really give me the coverage that I want. The Conti crayon is a little light on the touch. Here we go. This gives me the coverage that I want. Let's this is kind of like Painter's liquid brush tool, except it moves a lot faster than the Painter brush tool. I don't actually like this. I can change the opacity, that's why. Alright. Alright, now there's a little bit of lag. I can't tell if that's because my video software is running at the same time, or if it's because of the program itself. But you know, sometimes when I'm doing these recordings, there's some lag because of the video software itself. Alright, so what happens if I want to make a big fill? Can I do that? let's see, we got a marquee tool, we got a circle tool. It doesn't look like I have a selection tool of any kind, so I don't really need it. I guess I could make my brush even bigger. Whoa! Okay. Dial down the opacity. What else have we got? Let's see here. Nah, I'll go with a marker here because I could do flat shading. Just block in the major bits. So this is how we block in the light. So far I kind of like the smoothness of the lines and the smoothness of the response. There's only a little lag, but it's not terribly noticeable. This is what I wanted Painter to feel like, but I never got used to Painter because when I wanted to work at higher resolutions, my computer would always slow down. So it's probably a problem of my machine. So if I hit the Option key, I'm working on a Mac. If I hit the Option key, I get the Eyedropper tool. One thing that bothers me a little bit is that I can't really see how wide my my brush is because you know, I just have this pointer cursor. There's no visual way they don't have a visual representation of the brush size, so it's a little difficult for me to be as accurate as I'd like. Maybe there's something in the preferences. Cursor, crosshair. Oh, and I guess we can change some of these. Let's see. Does the crosshair? Nope, that's not helpful. None. That's not helpful either. All right, so I guess we'll stick with the crosshair for now. If anybody developing Mischief sees this, I would like a more interactive visual way of seeing what my brush size is. So just so you know. Alright, so we're going to try their famous zoom feature. And I hit Z and that didn't do shit. So here's the zoom tool. So if I slide to the left, I zoom out. If I slide to the right, I zoom in. And if I hit the space bar, that's sort of like the hand tool in Photoshop. So, all right, where's my zoom? Zoom back out a little bit. B gets me back to the brush, so that's cool. And let's do some detail work in here. I'll draw and make this a little bit darker and turn up the opacity. There we go. So nope, I don't like that. So let's see how many undos we got. We got a fair amount of undos. So that's always good. Alright, let me save now. I think I went a little undo crazy. Alright, so save. Alright, grab that and then make that darker, and then alright, so let's so far my favorite tool is the brush tool, the standard brush tool. Let's mess with the pencils here. I think these would be good for sketching and some light shading, I guess. I like that they're built in and you don't have to download a fancy brush like you might for like a Photoshop. I think I still prefer the markers. But yeah, if I wanted to do some sketching, I think the pencil tools, the default pencil tool here is pretty good. Let's see, if I double click on that, that doesn't do shit. Okay, so we don't have too many options. It just looks like a, you know, you what you see is what you get in terms of the tools. We've got some. Oh, these are called highlighters. Oh, that's interesting. Alright, so let's dial this down. Crazy looking monster here. He looks very disgruntled. All right, let's see if we can zoom in even further. All right, so the zoom takes a little bit of time to realize it's doing a zoom. I think with a faster machine, machine with more processing power, that might be what's holding me back a little bit. But let me see if I can go even further. Yeah, this zoom is not very good. But again, I mean, the slowdown could be because I'm recording this at the same time. So let's go back and draw a little creature. Yeah. And then let's grab one of these highlighter things. Round it out a little bit. That looks weird. Okay, well, let's zoom back out and see what's going on. If I can zoom back out. That looks just like a weird pimple thing. Then we zoom even further, and then you can hardly notice it. So that's kind of cool. I think that's a really cool feature. It would be interesting to see if there would be like a web browser implementation, so you could publish directly to web browser, so that you could do sort of like infinite comics, like hide things and set up a page for people to just explore, and then, you know, as they zoom into different parts of your composition, they see different, you know, parts of the comic jump out at you. Or like you could have a game, it's like, see if you can find all the hidden things. That would be kind of a neat implementation, I think, for future iterations of this. I don't know if that's built in already, like I said, you know. But yeah, I don't know. So first impressions, I have a lot of fun with how responsive the painting tools are, the painting tools, the sketching tools, the drawing tools, the coloring tools. This reminds me of what Painter was. I haven't used Painter in a long time, so I'm sure that's a lot better now than it was when I was using it. I'm fucking old. But yeah, I kind of like it. I wish the zoom feature was a little bit smoother, but I suspect that has more to do with my machine than with the actual program. And, you know, I'm having fun making this weird looking creature. which is always important. It's not fighting me. I didn't have to look up any tutorials or hints on how to use the software. I could just hop right in. If you're used to digital painting programs like either Painter or you're well versed in Photoshop already, I think this is an easy program to hop into. You can get a fair amount of detail very quickly. You can do all sorts of texturing things here. Let's go back to this Conte crayon thing. I guess this would be good for like subtle tones and things like that. Let's throw in some purple here. But yeah, I'd say overall Mischief is a lot of fun, a lot of mischief here. So let's save again. Let's see what formats we can save out as. Save as, compress and save as. What do we got here? Nah, screw that. Let's try export visible canvas. Interesting. So this is our pixel dimensions. We can go probably as high as we want. So let's try 300 dpi. Next. File format. Oh, we can save directly out to PSD. Well, let's be brave and, well, I won't open that because it'll take a while for Photoshop to open. But yeah, so it looks like you got a lot of good options. What else have we got here? What does save, compress and save do? Test it. Let's see. Mischief demo compress. Doesn't really do much visibly. All right, well, I guess that'll be about does it. I'm probably gonna mess with this a little bit more and see what else I can do with it. But this seems like a really fun program for just starting out and getting some quick and dirty concepts out. It's relatively quick. I'm assuming the file size is pretty small, and the install was only like 60 megs or something like that. So, or 7 megs. It was 7 megs to install this program. So you've got room on your machine. There's a demo version out now that you can download, and that's what this is running on. The full version is $65, which is crazy when you compare that to like a Photoshop or some of the other programs that are traditionally used for digital illustration and painting. So if you would like to do this and get into it and not have to worry about, the steep learning curve that Photoshop can sometimes confront you with, I think this is a great way of just jumping in and doing it. So yeah, Mischief, I like it. It's fun. I predict I will be using it a lot more than for digital line art, which I don't really do that much of. Okay, I'm gonna stop now before I keep rambling. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll check you later. Bye.